Well, welcome to Rawai Beach. What's it? It's not Qatar, it's not Kharon, it's Rawai Beach. In my humble opinion, which is all it is, this is about the best beach on this coast, on the west coast. It's relatively quiet. It's got quite a big Falang population that actually live here. It's got one or two. It's not overloaded with bars and whatever, It's only, well, there might be stuff on the next road down that I've never seen, but on the main drag by the sea, it's not. There's only about 2 or 3 kind of bar-type bars. And this is McFly's. This is the one I normally come into. So this may be the frontispiece for St. Patrick's Day, which is actually tomorrow. So all things being equal, I'm going to go into my normal pub, Irish pub, tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day. I'll be obscene in green. I've got the hat already. That might make a good title, actually, clickbait. I bet you if I call it Obscene in Green, I'll get loads of hits. My best-selling video, my best, most viewed video of all time was one I called Fur Coat and No Knickers. And it wasn't about what you think it was about. It was like a souped-up Honda Civic that I saw parked by the side of the road. The guy that owned it had spent a huge amount of money on the bodywork, making it look fast, but you can almost guarantee that he spent no money at all on the engine. So there's an old saying in the north of England that fur coat and no knickers, which could describe a woman that's dressed up to the nines but doesn't quite know the finer details. But it's generally something that's bodged up to look great, but under the surface it's crap. I'm a Liverpool supporter, and actually if it carries on like this I might be a closet Liverpool supporter, because it's very difficult. Very, very difficult. Like, they got dumped out of the Champions League last night, requiring 3 goals away to stay in against Real Madrid, who slaughtered them at Anfield. I can't believe how a team that can beat Manchester United 7-0 one week can then lose to a shower of bums that are actually the bottom of the English Premier League in their very next game. Something is deeply not right, and the seeds of this were sown. You could even see it a bit at the end of their Premier League winning season 2 years ago, when they started to go off. They'd already won it, but they started to go off the boil at the end of that one. And last year they set a style where they win against the big teams and lose against the really bad ones. And but they still came up with they had a really good season last year, but this year has been desperately bad. They'll be lucky to get in the top 4 by the end of the season, and that means they're fighting to even play in Europe next year. It's so hard being a supporter of a team like that, because basically they let you down as a supporter. On some games they don't even show up. Well, they show up physically, but they run around the pitch and don't have any interest in the game whatsoever. It's just a shambles. Very, very difficult being a supporter of the team right now. So I don't watch them anymore live. So really I'm a supporter in name only now, which is a shame. But following sports has given me the opportunity to explore some pretty deep modern scientific theories. I mean, I think that in the past science was only just scratching the surface of what we perceive as reality. But now there are more modern theories floating around. The one that borders most on conspiracy theories is that we're all living in a computer simulation. But mathematically, people say they've proved it. But also mathematically, there now seems to be the possibility that there are parallel universes and multiple dimensions, all that kind of thing. And with that in mind, being a sports supporter, I was watching on the TV the other night a Six Nations game between England and Scotland, and it was already underway when I tuned in, that's a funny word nowadays, but when I tuned in, selected the right transport stream would be more akin to reality for an engineer like me. Anyway, leaving that aside, when I tuned in to this game, England, it was about halfway through the first half and England were comfortably in the lead. That was it. But as soon as I started watching it, I think we then somehow, or I somehow, slipped into a parallel, an alternate universe where my team was going to lose, because instantly England started to flop and Scotland scored a try, just like that. And it gets stranger than that. Have you ever noticed that when you're watching a game, maybe you're having a beer or something, you want to go to the toilet, you want to go to the restroom. The minute you go to the restroom, someone will score a goal. Have you ever noticed that? Well, that happened. I went to the restroom. Instantly I could hear the commentator yelling and screaming behind me. Someone at Scotland had scored a try in this alternate universe that I was now in. And it wasn't a live game. This was a recorded game, and it still works out like that. So I think something really, really strange is going on. Don't you?